अस्सलाम वालेकुम, हाय एवरीवन, कैसे हैं आप सब। आई होप कि बिल्कुल खैरियत से होंगे। वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मेरी दुआ है कि अल्लाह ताला आप सबको अपने हिफ्ज़ व अमान में रखे, खुश रखे। आमीन सुम आमीन। ये वीडियो ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 महीना पहले की है, लेकिन ये कि मैं शेयर नहीं कर पाई क्योंकि एक तो ईद आ गई थी और फिर ये कि बेटी और दामाद भी आए हुए थे, तो उनके साथ हम बिज़ी रहे और फिर बीच में कुछ ना कुछ होता रहा, इस वजह से फिर मैं शेयर नहीं कर पाई। तो खैर मैंने सोचा कि मैं ये अब शेयर कर देती हूँ। तो ख़ैर जनाब, हम लोग गए थे अफ्रीकन लायन सफारी और ये बहुत बड़ा एरिया है, बहुत खूबसूरत जगह है और ये टोरंटो से ज़्यादा दूर भी नहीं है। तो खैर जी, हमारा प्रोग्राम तो ये था कि हमने नियाग्रा फॉल्स जाना था, तो हमने सोचा कि रास्ते में ये पड़ता है तो चलो जाते जाते हम ये भी देख लेंगे। और कुछ साल पहले भी हम लोग अफ्रीकन लायन सफारी आए थे और हमारा यही प्रोग्राम था कि हमें नियाग्रा फॉल्स जाना था, तो हमने सोचा कि चलो हम रास्ते में ये भी देख लेते हैं। और कई लोग इसी तरह ही करते हैं जो टोरंटो से आते हैं। तो हम लोग जून के स्टार्ट में गए थे क्योंकि बेटी और दामाद जून के स्टार्ट में आए थे और तब वेकेशंस वगैरह तो स्टार्ट नहीं हुई थी। तो खैर ये था कि वीकडेज़ में हम लोग गए थे, इसलिए बहुत ज़्यादा रश नहीं था। मतलब रश तो था, ज़ाहिर है समर में रश होता ही है, लेकिन ये कि उतना रश नहीं था जितना कि वेकेशंस में होता है। और ये खूबसूरत से फ्लावर्स मेरे दामाद ने मेरे लिए बाय किए थे। एक्चुअली रास्ते में पता नहीं कोई चीज़ लेने के लिए रुके थे, वहाँ पे फ्लावर्स थे, तो मेरी बेटी को भी उसने लेके दिए और मेरे लिए भी ले लिए, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। तो खैर जनाब, हम लोग सफारी गए थे और मैं आपको थोड़ा बहुत वॉइस ओवर करके बीच बीच में बता दूंगी, लेकिन ये कि हमने बस टूर लिया था तो वो पूरी डिटेल बस में ख़ुद ही बताते हैं, मतलब एनिमल्स वगैरह के बारे में। और आप अपनी गाड़ी में भी जा सकते हैं, लेकिन ये कि आपको वो उतना डिटेल से पता नहीं चलेगा। ज़ाहिर है उनकी पूरी जो हिस्ट्री होती है सारा कुछ। तो हमारी ना जाने की एक वजह तो ये थी कि गाड़ी में कोई भी क्रैक होता है, मतलब विंड स्क्रीन पे कोई भी निशान होता है, कुछ भी हो, तो फिर आपको एंटर नहीं होने देते उस तरह ना, मतलब गाड़ी नहीं जाने देते। तो हमारी भी विंड स्क्रीन पे कोई ऐसा कोई मतलब कोई क्रैक वगैरह कुछ नहीं था, लेकिन एक होता है ना सामने से आपकी गाड़ी जा रही है तो कोई पत्थर उड़ के आके तो विंड स्क्रीन पे लगे, तो हल्का सा निशान सा था जो कि हमें नज़र भी नहीं आया कभी। लेकिन खैर वो फिर हमने यही सोचा कि हम बस पे ही जाएंगे। तो खैर यहीं पे हमने बस टिकट्स वगैरह ऑनलाइन बाई कर ली थी, यहीं पे खड़े खड़े। तो वो थोड़ी सी मतलब चीप पड़ती हैं। तो खैर ये कि अब आप ये डिटेल से वीडियो देखिए।
This is a joke, but I'm proud of the international reputation we've earned for excellence in the care, management, and breeding of many rare and endangered species. We are a proud member of features our llamas and our Watusi cattle. Our left-hand side, we will have a couple coming up on our right-hand side as well. Llamas are a South American relative of the camel. 1,000 years ago, they have been used as pack animals for centuries, but they're hardly ever ridden, as they do possess a couple of nasty habits, such as when tired, a llama will lie down and simply refuse to stand up, and when angry, a llama will spit. If you're able to get a closer look at their faces, you may see they have very large eyes on the sides of their head. This allows a llama to see 360 degrees. Side, we have our Watusi cattle. These medium-sized cows with our large and impressive horns are a definite showstopper amongst the bovine kingdom. They can be either spotted or solid and come in a variety of colors. Commonly measured in living animals, Watusi are rarely used as a source of meat. These massive horns, the Watusi, can be easily traced back more than 6,000 years, making solid and come in a variety of colors. The ancestry of the Watusi can be easily traced back more than 6,000 coats. There are less than 7,500 in the wild, with very limited success in chance to work together by exchanging their animals, as this promotes genetic diversity. Lions will consist of males, females, and of cubs of various ages. Lions are the only member of the large cat species that live in family units. The lion is associated with Africa, yet as a species it developed much farther north and was actually in Europe during the last ice age. 24-hour day. You will see underneath the rock on our left-hand side, we have our male lion. It is only the male which grows the mane. The mane begins to develop around 15 months of age, and will be hunters. They've often been known to pirate kills away from other predators, such as the hyena. By the time they're 15 days old, they'll be walking and running in 1 month. Lions are born with dark spots in their fur called rosettes, which gradually disappear as they age. Veering off to the left-hand side, notice the Monkey Jungle Bypass Road, which exists for anyone traveling in their own vehicles, not wishing to go through this section in particular, as you do enter your own. Coming up on our left-hand side, we do have our savanna baboons, and we also have these small gray cattle known as the miniature zebu, which are one of the oldest and smallest breeds of cattle in the world. They are the only true miniature breed of cattle, meaning they've not been bred down from a larger sized cow. In order to be considered miniature, an adult male must not exceed a weight of 600 pounds and a height of 42 inches. They are known for being intelligent, gentle, and easy to take care of, as they are hardy and disease resistant, requiring very little space and care. They also cope very well with the heat, often found in full view of the sun on some of the hottest days of the year, even in countries as hot as India, where they originate. Baboons have a very interesting social organization that begins at birth, and every baboon has his or her ranking is open to challenge. If a lower ranking baboon is strong enough, it will remain on the mother's back but start to sit upright, riding jockey style, and after 4 to 6 months of the baby staying with its mother, it will then venture off to play with other young. It's interesting to know that a dominant male will sometimes ask permission to play with a newborn. He does so by smacking to seek the cover of bushes and grass. We do have these large antelopes that you can see on our right-hand side. They're known as the bongo. They're the largest and most colorful of the African forest antelope, and they do like to camouflage. Although it's interesting to know that the number of you may notice they have very large horns that turn inward. The inward turn of their horns is because they're very timid and easily frightened creatures, often seen running through the 5 kilometers per hour on the land. However, llamas are Barbary sheep are native to northern Africa in rocky mountainous regions. They clear obstacles over 6 feet in height, 5,500 pounds. They kilometers per hour, and they can maintain a speed of 70 kilometers for 30 minutes without showing to popular belief. Ostriches do not vary this, since ostriches do not have the reputation of being intelligent, as one of their eyeballs is bigger than their brain. They are most active in the morning and evening, spending the hot daytime wallowing in the mud. As is inside, we have a second type of white antelope known as the addax, also called the screw-horned antelope. Both males and females possess these horns that twist 2 or 3 times. They do have a very firm social structure with 2 to 20 members in their herd, led by the oldest of the group. They are desert-dwelling, also known as the wild horse of Africa. Unlike the domestic horse, zebra are almost impossible to train, and they possess neither the horse's endurance nor the gentleness to roll around in mud and dirt to loosen stubborn patches of hair and to reduce irritation caused by biting flies and ticks. You may be able to spot some bison calf if you look through the herd closely. Bison are often mistakenly called buffalo. However, there is a clear distinction between the two. During the growth process, their antlers are covered in a thin layer of skin to provide them with a rich supply of blood. However, by the time their antlers are fully developed, around them are very easily visible. However, this is not true year-round, as their winter coats are very thick, with their spots being difficult to see. However, as the season warms up, their coats will thin out, and their spots will become very prominent. Year afterwards, males will shed their leaves, shrubs, and bushes. Due to the moisture that addicts receive, a couple of more ostriches on this side as well. The males are they're more slate gray in color. Their name comes from the Afrikaans word wide, meaning wide or square-lipped, essentially a grazing animal present in newborns. Rhinoceros are very social and friendly animals, so unfortunately their aggressive reputation they've been given is undeserved. His name is Nabu. Their skin is thick and silvery brown, covered in many folds and warp-like bumps, giving it the appearance of a suit of armor. Both male and female broider large brown antelope, which are known as the eland. They are the largest of all antelope species, standing around 6 feet tall, weighing up to 2,200 pounds. The most distinctive characteristic of the eland is easily domesticated and very predictable natures we would use from our environment if we were to farm these antelope instead of cattle. Their horns are made up of pure keratin, which is the same protein that makes up human hair and fingernails. The keratinized rods stick together like the growth of hair, thus forming the horns. Named Mac, Fire, Star, and Lenny, with Mac being our male, come from Kruger National Park in South Africa as part of a translocation program. zebra, which are also known as the wild horse of Africa. Unlike the domestic horse, zebra are almost impossible to train, and they possess neither the horse's endurance nor the gentleness that makes them a friend of man. Their sturdy legs enable them to run at 65 kilometers per hour and run. There are many theories concerning the purpose of a zebra's stripes. One of the most popular is that they act as a Venetian blind, with the black body temperature and help them cope with severe weather. Every zebra danger. They are one of the most numerous and preyed upon that they act as a Venetian blind, with the black stripe absorbing the heat of the sun and the white stripe reflecting it to regulate their body temperature and help them cope with severe weather. Every zebra has their own unique set of stripes, much like humans have their own unique set of fingerprints, and giraffes have their own unique set of spots. In rocky mountainous regions, however, completely depleted from their natural habitats. However, Barbary sheep have been successfully introduced into North America in the canyons of the Colorado River and certain areas of California, where they're surviving quite well. Both male and female of the Barbary sheep possess horns and a beard. The horns are a giraffe. Giraffe are the world's tallest land animal. By the time they're fully grown, they stand at nearly 20 feet tall, and they weigh between 2,200 to 3,300 pounds, making them the world's tallest land animal. Allow them to tell when predators are coming from a great distance. Because of their reputation as watchtowers, giraffe do not feel comfortable lying down in the wild, and they will not lie down unless somebody is watching over them. However, here in safari, it is more likely that a giraffe will lie down as they don't feel threatened. Since they do not lie down in the wild though, and they do so while standing up. A female giraffe will give birth standing up, so that a newborn's first experience out of the womb is a 6-foot drop. A male ostrich will have up to 4 females in his harem, all of whom lay their eggs in one nest. Ostrich egg weighs 4 pounds, which is the equivalent of roughly 30 chicken eggs. Although giraffes are very tall and awkward looking, they can move gracefully at speeds up to 48 kilometers per hour. The legs of the giraffe are very long, and this makes it difficult for them to reach the ground with their mouths to pick up sticks. Long is thought to help prevent sunburn, as they do spend a lot of time with it on the outside of their mouth while feeding. Diet, they can live up to 1 month without any water to drink. Unfortunately, giraffe are being eliminated from large tracts of their natural environments. The most dangerous predator of the giraffe is man. However, lions, leopards. We are just passing our final number of scimitar horned oryx up ahead of us, on both sides of the bus. Unfortunately, the scimitar horned oryx did go extinct in the wild in 2000 from excessive hunting and habitat loss. However, in 2016, a small population was reintroduced into Tunisia and Chad, where they're surviving quite well. African Lion Safari is a proud member of the C2S2 program, which is designed to help prevent the extinction of any animal on the planet, and allow Gold-Star Safari can often be seen visited by a number of waterfowl, including gulls, ducks, and geese, with the occasional trumpeter swan or great blue heron. Many animals will often visit watering holes all throughout safari for a drink, a swim, or just to wallow in the mud. Red colored, females are called jills, flyers, or does, and are gray, and a collective group of kangaroos is called a mob, a troop, or a court. Slowly, they have to use their tails for balance. However, kangaroos are very excellent jumpers, able to clear heights of over 6 feet and distances of boo. However, we will see him as we come around the other side of the road. Antelope do come from Peninsular India. special appearance made by Asian Markhor. Barbary sheep are native to northern Africa in rocky mountainous regions. They're excellent sure-footed jumpers and climbers, able to clear obstacles over 6 feet in height. Since we do have a very large number, as they breed extremely easily in captivity. The spotted fallow deer comes from Europe and Great Britain, where they're sometimes also called the park deer. You may see that 2 years of age, when the deer is known as a picket. Every year afterwards, they're long and flat, maxing out around 50 centimeters. However, males, despite their height of only 1 meter, can grow these long, spiraling horns, reaching 1.5 meters in length. They're very strong jumpers and climbers, easily capable of maneuvering very steep cliffs in Asia. Our herd of spotted fallow deer, since we do have a very large herd. The spotted fallow deer comes from Europe and Great Britain, where they're also called the park deer. You may notice that their spots are very easily visible. However, this is not true year-round, as their winter coats are very thick, with their spots being difficult to see. However, as the season warms up, their coats will thin out, and their spots will become very prominent. Coming up on our left-hand side, Native American word meaning white rump, referring to the distinct color of the elk's back end. They are the second largest member of the deer family in North America, right behind the moose. They can be found throughout the foothill calf under protective cover far away from the lean herd. When first born, they're heavily spotted to help their camouflage. However, their spots will gradually disappear around 6 weeks of age when the calf is strong enough to join with the herd. And you will see our herd of cur, large humps, shaggy coats, and big heads. Whereas buffalo have longer horns, no humps. When first born, a bison is a rusty reddish coloration. However, they gradually darken to this brown color with their age, and then they lose their coat. We do also have a very large number of Canadian geese. The Canada goose is the most common type of goose in North America and can be easily recognized by brown body plumage. Migrate to safari in their wintering grounds in the southern United States. And if you look closely throughout our Canadian geese, you may be able to spot many gulls. It's now coming to an end, but I would advise you to check out the other shows.
तो जनाब ये हमारा बस टूर बहुत अच्छा रहा, काफ़ी इन्जॉय किया हमने। और ये तकरीबन 1 घंटे का टूर होता है, मतलब ज़ाहिर है इतना बड़ा एरिया है तो सारा आपको दिखाते हैं। लेकिन इस दफ़ा एनिमल्स कुछ कम नज़र आए, मतलब वैसे तो काफ़ी थे लेकिन ये कि वो ज़्यादा नज़र नहीं आए इतने ज़्यादा। एक तो सो रहे थे, हालांकि लास्ट टाइम हम जब आए थे तो इसी मौसम में आए थे, यानी समर था और ये टाइम भी यही था। लेकिन ये कि काफ़ी जो थे एनिमल्स वो रोड पे भी आपको नज़र आते हैं और काफ़ी मतलब वो उठे हुए थे, मतलब सो नहीं रहे थे। लेकिन बहरहाल खैर हम लोग बाहर आए तो थोड़ा सा आगे आए तो हम लोगों ने देखा कि यहाँ पे बोट राइड भी है, जो कि लास्ट टाइम हमें पता भी नहीं था। तो हमने सोचा चलो देखते हैं, ट्राई करते हैं। तो इसके लिए सेपरेट टिकट बाई नहीं करनी पड़ती, तो खैर हमने कहा कि चलो देखते हैं कि कैसी है। तो इसमें भी जो एरिया होता है आसपास जंगल टाइप वो आपको दिखाते हैं और उनकी डिटेल्स वगैरह बताते हैं, साथ साथ कमेंट्री करके पूरा। तो खैर वो भी आप देखें और बताएं कि कैसी लगी आपको ये बोट राइड।
Please remain seated with your arms and legs well within the boat at all times. Today we'll be seeing a variety of primates from around the world. During the winter, heated barns on the property, as they are quite sensitive to our cold Canadian winters. Unfortunately, the survival of many species, especially the primates, is threatened by widespread habitat destruction, hunting, and the rapid acceleration of human encroachment on their remaining habitats. If this trend continues, it may only be through responsible and cooperative captive breeding efforts that some species will ultimately survive. Please keep this in mind as we tour around the lake and view a variety of different animals. New baby lemurs born here in the last few days. When dominated, their legs are considerably longer than their arms. This allows them to jump vertically. You'll see in the distance, we also do have one of our white-headed gibbons on their little jungle gym structure. Well, I don't know if they'll stay there the entire time as we come around, but hopefully they'll stick. Ring-tailed lemurs can live up to 15 years in the wild, or in conservation areas like here at African Lions, and is easily recognized by its brown body plumage, black head and neck, and prominent white cheek patches. Black and white ruffed lemurs named for two things. Number one, they're black and white. Number two, they do have a lot of fur around their ears and head that looks like a ruff around their neck. And if you look straight ahead of us, you will see moving about for hanging upside down by their feet in order to feed on their diet of fruit, seeds, loud alarm call that they use to display their territories, as they are quite territorial. And just to the right-hand side, if you look, is also known for their very distinctive call that they use as a territorial display in which both members of a mated pair will partake in.
तो ये सामने पता नहीं मंकी था मेरा ख्याल में, क्योंकि कुछ भी इतना क्लियरली तो नज़र नहीं आ रहा था, तो वो मतलब बहुत पास से तो वो नहीं गुज़रते, थोड़ा सा दूर से गुज़रते हैं। तो बहरहाल ये कि जो भी था, हमने ये बोट राइड भी एंजॉय की, और ये तकरीबन कोई 8-10 मिनट की ही राइड होती है। तो बहुत ज़्यादा एनिमल्स के बारे में वो बता तो रहे थे, लेकिन ये कि हमें कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा था, क्योंकि नज़र ही कुछ नहीं आ रहा था, क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल में ज़्यादातर जो थे वो सो रहे होंगे, तो वैसे भी मतलब छोटे छोटे थे। लेकिन चले जो भी है, हमने वो एरिया घूमा और एक नया मतलब एक्सपीरियंस था, तो अच्छा ही लगा हमें। और वो डिटेल से सारा बता भी रहे थे, लेकिन ये कि एक तो बच्चे शोर कर रहे थे, मतलब रो रहे थे बच्चे कुछ, तो वो हमें समझ भी नहीं आ रही थी। लेकिन बहरहाल जो भी था, ये एक्सपीरियंस हमने फ़र्स्ट टाइम किया तो हमें अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम हम आए थे तो हमें पता ही नहीं था कि यहाँ पे कोई बोट राइड भी होती है।
I'd like to thank you all for joining us today at African Lion Safari. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your stay with us.
बोट राइड के बाद बच्चों का प्लान था कि आगे जाके कुछ और एक्सप्लोर करते हैं। वैसे तो मतलब पहले भी देखा हुआ है, आगे जाके वो बर्ड्स के केजेस वगैरह हैं और मतलब एनिमल्स वगैरह और भी हैं, लेकिन ये कि बहरहाल वो काफ़ी टाइम हो गया था, तो उनका दिल कर रहा था कि कुछ और भी देखें और थोड़ा सा घूमें फिरें। और फिर यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा हम आगे आए, तो यहाँ पे आई थिंक ये छोटा सा कोई, मेरे ख्याल में कोई म्यूज़ियम टाइप था। तो खैर ये अंदर जाके तो हमने नहीं देखा ज़्यादा डिटेल से, बाहर ये थोड़ा सा ये देख रहे थे हम लोग, ये कुछ स्केलेटन्स वगैरह थे। तो हम स्पेशल बेटी और दामाद की वजह से आए थे, क्योंकि ज़ाहिर है वो लोग आए हुए थे, तो हमें ज़ाहिर है घूमने तो जाना ही था कहीं ना कहीं। लेकिन फिर वो लोग शायद थक गए या जो भी था, वो लोग तो वहीं रह गए, वो बैठ गए कहीं पे कि हम तो थके हुए हैं, या जो भी था, उनका इतना मूड नहीं था घूमने फिरने का। तो खैर मेरी छोटी बेटियों का मूड था, उनका ये था कि हम कहीं आगे जाएँ, ज़रा थोड़ा सा देखें। फिर मैंने कहा चलो ये जा रही हैं तो मैं भी देख लेती हूँ, और इसी बहाने वॉक भी हो जाएगी। और वैसे भी मतलब काफ़ी टाइम हो गया था इस तरह मुझे घूमे फिरे, तो मैंने सोचा चलो मैं इनके साथ ही जाती हूँ। थोड़ा आगे गए तो हमें पता चला कि यहाँ तो ट्रेन राइड भी है, तो फिर हमने सोचा कि चलो आज ट्रेन की सैर करते हैं। तो बहुत ज़माना हो गया ना इस तरह बच्चों के साथ कभी किया करते थे पाकिस्तान में। तो खैर ये भी पूरा जो सफारी का एरिया है वो सारा घूमते हैं, और मतलब ये भी ऑलमोस्ट 8-10 मिनट की ही राइड होती है, लेकिन ये कि हमने कहा चलो एंजॉय करेंगे। और फुल ट्रेन भरी हुई थी, और वो भी इसी तरह मतलब सारी आपको डिटेल बताते हैं। किस्मत अच्छी हो तो आपको जानवर भी नज़र आ जाते हैं।
Good afternoon and welcome to the Nature Boy Scenic Railway. My name is Julia and I will be your guide on the tour this afternoon. Just a friendly reminder that there is no eating, drinking or smoking on the train, as well as I ask that you please remain seated with your arms and legs well within the train carriage at all times. Poplar and a large sheltering white pine forest. The Nature Boy Scenic Railway is intended as a scenic ride and not as an animal display. Therefore, it will only be by chance that the animals are seen. Please keep your eyes peeled and your cameras ready. 1963 CP Huntington steam engine. The original steam engine played an important role in building the western portion of the first transcontinental railroad from 1864 to 1869. California as a symbol of an engineering marvel of over one. Canadian geese, well, you're in luck. Over to the left-hand side, you see a group of our Canada geese. They're easily recognized by their brown body plumage that completely encircles their body, including a black head and neck and prominent white cheek patches. Over to the left. 25 centimeters, with the females typically being larger. An interesting fact is that they can actually breathe through their bums.
क्या चीज़? कहाँ पे? कहाँ पे क्यूट है? मुझे तो नजर ही नहीं आ रहा।
The large building elephants. The 18,000 square foot facility features a computer-controlled research worldwide. Through their passion, expertise, knowledge, and partnerships, they inspire and engage people to ensure a vibrant future with elephants everywhere. Now over to our right-hand side, you will get to see one of our elephants. 1,000 pounds.
आज हर चीज़ छुट्टी हुई है। आज सारा कुछ सोया हुआ था। नहीं गर्मी इतनी भी नहीं है, लेकिन सब कुछ सोए हुए थे। टाइगर वगैरह सारा कुछ नींद आ रही होगी। हर चीज़, मंकीज भी सोए हुए थे, सारे कुछ सोए हुए थे।
The gateway to the show areas, including the Paradise Show, Birds of Prey Flying Demonstration, and the Wild Wonder Show. If you have any questions about the tour or safari in general, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you. Once again, I'd like to thank you for coming to African Lion Safari, and I hope that you continue.
तो खैर जी, मैंने तो ट्रेन की राइड भी बहुत एंजॉय की, क्योंकि मुझे तो अपनी वो जो पाकिस्तान वाली ट्रेन याद आ गई। क्योंकि जब भी हम पाकिस्तान जाते हैं तो हम कहते हैं कि ट्रेन की सैर करेंगे, ट्रेन का सफ़र करेंगे, और बच्चों को भी बहुत शौक़ है। और स्पेशली जो वो ब्रिज के ऊपर से जब ट्रेन गुजरती है तो उसकी आवाज़ आती है ना, तो वो तो मुझे बहुत ही पसंद है। तो खैर वो मुझे सारी कहते हैं ना कि यादें ताज़ा हो गई मेरी ट्रेन की। नहीं कितना क्यूट है। छोटा सा, ऐसे लगता है नाराज खड़ा है, जैसे छुपा हुआ है। गर्मी बहुत लगी है तो वो भी बैठी है।
Lifespan can live over 100. Status vulnerable. Weekend, क्योंकि एनिमल्स भी माँ शाम टाइम उनका टाइमिंग होती है, वो बंद हो जाती है।
किधर गया है? यहाँ पे नहीं, वो बैठा हुआ है रेड वाला। बर्ड के अलावा कुछ और हो तो बताओ। हाँ, ये पैरेट शो हो रहा है। आगे जो सारा एरिया है वहाँ पे मतलब केजेस वगैरह हैं, उनमें बर्ड्स वगैरह हैं, और इसके अलावा छोटे छोटे से काफ़ी एनिमल्स हैं, मतलब गोट्स हैं, लामा वगैरह, और यहाँ पे हमें रैबिट्स भी नज़र आए, छोटे छोटे से क्यूट से। तो खैर मतलब ये सब कुछ देखा हुआ ही था, लेकिन ये कि बहरहाल मैं बच्चों के साथ एंजॉय कर रही थी, क्योंकि उनके साथ मुझे बहुत अरसे के बाद टाइम स्पेंड करने का मौका मिला था और घूमने फिरने का। तो खैर मतलब थोड़ी सी गर्मी भी वैसे लग रही थी, लेकिन हमने कहा चलो कोई बात नहीं, खैर है।
35. To put that into perspective, the average rock concert is about. As no surprise that costumes like Petey can be considered pests where they're from, not only because of that noise.
यहाँ बर्ड शो भी हो रहा था और हमने थोड़ा सा जाके देखा, लेकिन हम लोग बैठे नहीं क्योंकि हमारे पास टाइम ही नहीं था, क्योंकि हमें आगे नियाग्रा जाना था। और लास्ट टाइम भी हम लोग नहीं देख पाए थे, वो यही हमारा प्रोग्राम था कि हमें यहाँ से फिर नियाग्रा जाना था, तो इस वजह से टाइम ना होने की वजह से हम लोग नहीं देख पाए थे। तो यहाँ पे मतलब बर्ड शो का भी एक टाइम होता है और एलिफेंट शो का भी टाइम होता है, तो वो फिर उसके लिए आपको टाइम चाहिए होता है। तो आप फिर मतलब पूरा दिन के लिए अगर आते हैं तो फिर आप देख सकते हैं। तो खैर यहाँ पे बहुत सारी वैरायटी है बर्ड्स की, और पैरट्स हैं बहुत ज़्यादा, हॉक्स हैं, वल्चर्स भी हैं, और मतलब काफ़ी टाइप के परिंदे हैं यहाँ पे। और एक ये बड़ा खौफनाक टाइप का बड़ा सा बर्ड था, पता नहीं, मुझे इसका नाम नहीं पता, तो मुझे अब याद नहीं है क्या लिखा हुआ था। तो खैर घूमने फिरने की बहुत अच्छी जगह है, और स्पेशली बच्चे तो यहाँ पे बहुत एंजॉय करते हैं। ज़ाहिर है बच्चे बर्ड्स वगैरह और एनिमल्स को देख के बहुत खुश होते हैं। और इसके अलावा यहाँ पे एक वाटर पार्क है जहाँ पे बच्चे बहुत एंजॉय करते हैं, और समर में तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है। तो खैर हमने भी बहुत एंजॉय किया, और भूख भी बहुत ज़्यादा लग चुकी थी, और फिर गाड़ी में बैठ के हमने खाना खाया जो कि हम घर से बना के लाए थे, सैंडविचेस वगैरह। तो खैर फिर हम नियाग्रा गए थे, तो नियाग्रा की वीडियो मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम शेयर करूँगी। खुश रहें, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।